right, let's give it up for Price Performing Arts Center. Welcome, welcome, welcome everyone to the Nicole B. Jackson Show. You are tuned in live and we are excited and delighted that you are here with us. Let's give it up again for Price Performing Arts Center. Awesome. Guys, the Huffington Post has posted that over the last 20 years, women have consistently been starting businesses at a higher rate than men. And they've also been more inclined to start businesses that are more in line with personal values, that are seeking freedom, flexibility, and independence. Today, you will be introduced to some business women who are helping to break that glass ceiling and talk about their experiences as women in business. Tonight, we're continuing our discussion on the cost of freedom, woman style. Our first guest tonight is not a stranger to the show. She is a counseling psychologist who operates here in the Metro Atlanta area, and she specializes in transformation initiatives to bring about change. This show tonight is for any woman out there who's ready to step out and to do something different. I introduced to some, and I guess reintroduced to some others tonight, Dr. Leteshia Woodley.
Thank you, Nicole, for having me on the show.
Thank you for being here. It's been a minute since you've joined us here on the carpet.
Yes. It's always a pleasure to come back and be on the show. It's always an honor to share in this experience.
Awesome. Well, thank you. So tonight's topic, women in business, talking about that glass ceiling. When you heard that topic for tonight's show, what came to mind for you? What were your thoughts?
Well, as women, we always are trying to achieve at high levels. I think when you talk about the glass ceiling, you kind of think about the women's rights issues of really competing in a male dominant workforce and things of that nature. So that glass ceiling is basically breaking through barriers, doing the basically being a trendsetter, kind of setting the stage or setting the standard for women to come behind you. Really and truly just shattering the expectations of what women can and can't do.
Now, that's one thing that we don't often hear when we're talking about the glass ceiling and women in business. You don't hear a lot of talk about the trailblazing aspect and setting the scene for women to come. And so as your work, whether it's with Dynamic Achievement Solutions in your private practice or even in the school system, how do you see what you do as far as creating that trend and being that trailblazer for other women?
Well, one thing, of course, especially with women, one of the things that most people say that, maybe that women are usually difficult to work for as bosses.
Oh, yeah, we hear that.
Or that, that maybe there's a sense of a competitiveness against for women working with each other, And so in my role, in both my private practice and working as an administrator, I make sure that I am more of a dream birther, helping people to reach their dreams and goals.
Okay.
I really work with individuals to kind of figure out what are your goals? What is it that you want to accomplish? How can I assist you in reaching your goals?
Okay.
And so being that example every day of what, positive role model that I can be as a woman in business and in education, to be that, that basically that kind of role model, so to speak, to kind of say, okay, you don't have to be ugly or ruthless to be able to be in administration or to have your own business. You can hold on to your values and your belief systems. You can act like a lady
and still be a leader.
And still be a leader, exactly.
Definitely. And so that leads me into what one of my questions was about the ideas that people have about women in the workforce, and you mentioned some of that. So you are helping to dispel some myths and misconceptions and set that trend when you're talking about the fact that there's oftentimes a lot of competition or competitiveness. And there's a piece of the cake or pie that everybody can have. And I love that you are the birth maker?
I'm a dream birther.
The dream birther. The birth maker. Okay. I love that because that's definitely needed for us to help one another. Because if we all achieve, then everybody wins. The team wins if everyone's successful.
Exactly. And I think that is if we can look at it as leaders to say you measure your level of success by how many people you are able to assist in reaching their goals. I think that, it's not about just one person being successful. It's about all of us being successful. And if you can measure your worth by how many people you help, I think that we'll have a different perspective of women in the workplace.
Definitely. And you mentioned the leadership aspect. And so what are some differences that you've noticed when it comes to the way that men and women lead?
For the most part, and for my experience of working with women, we usually are emotional leaders.
Yes.
And we usually lead with our heart.
Okay.
Versus males are usually more focused on facts and figures. That's not to say that all women, lead with the heart. There's some women that are very focused on facts and figures as well. But for the most part, I find that we are emotional creatures, and we really, for the essence, we really want to do the right thing, or have a motivation to try to do the right thing. Now, one of the things that I have noticed also, and it is a stereotype, but from for different working with different individuals, they tend to believe that we're hormonal, that and that we're unstable, and so one day
definitely a myth and misconception. There's no truth in it. No truth in it.
Exactly. That you don't really sure usually how to take women, but for the most part, I find that women out here today are really driven. We find that we have to work harder to be noticed and be recognized. So really and truly going the extra mile.
Now, hold that thought. So now, why do you think that is? Why do you think that women have to work harder? Why is it that we can be doing the same job, same place, same time, but have to give a little bit more or do a little bit extra to get the recognition that our male counterparts don't?
I still think that we have a long way to go as far as equality, for as women equality in the workplace. Of course, salaries is is still that men tend to make more than women for doing the same positions and things of that nature. So I think that there's still some more work to be done in that area. But I do feel that, it may not be the case that we have to do more, but it just appears to be that women could be on the same level, have the same level of degrees and things of that nature. However, the male is given preference over the female.
And I was having this conversation actually last night on the radio show. We were talking about that, which you just mentioned, the fact that women today in the same positions still make less than their male counterparts would. And Ted was talking about the fact that if you look at retirement, women working the same amount of time, same job, end up retiring with less money than their male counterparts because just that, the salaries from the years that they've been working has been significantly less.
Yes.
And I think that's something that we don't really think about when we are looking to get into the workforce and to do different things. We don't look at those differences in that way.
Yeah. But I don't think it's really highly publicized as well,
Yeah, definitely.
So I think there's still some, some things that we really have to learn as women to really sell ourselves, to make sure that we understand our value and be able to really to assert ourselves, to make sure that we are compensated fairly. Yes.
And you mentioned the fact that you can be a good, effective leader as a woman, and you can still keep your morals and your values. And I want to touch on that a little bit because I guess for men and women, but sometimes for women, we might find ourselves placed in what could be compromising positions, having to make that decision where your job is on the line if you don't. Or if you decide to do it a different way, it's a different conversation. So how do you maneuver through those situations where you want to keep your morals and your ethics and your values and make those good choices, but you need that check to take care of your household and to pay your bills?
That is a very difficult question. I've really worked with a lot of women who have dealt with sexual harassment, in the workplace, and felt the need to to give in to the sexual harassment in order for advancement in their careers and things of that nature. And it, really haunted them, for years to deal with those types of the pressures and everything to maintain a certain image and a certain status and things of that nature. What I say is that you have to understand your worth and know that market yourself accordingly to the place where if there's anything that you're asked to do, that there's a way in which to approach it that's respectfully, but that you don't allow yourself to get involved in situations where you are morally bound. I've had a situation where I was asked to do something that was unethical. And, and basically I went to that person. I said, I really don't feel comfortable, dealing with this. And this is really what the rules say we really need to do. And I support you, and I really don't want you to find yourself in a situation that is not
so basically
healthy.
You put it back on that person.
It's not healthy for you. I'm here to support you and protect you. And I think that if we go down this road, then I think that it's going to we're going to be held liable in the future.
And I was going to ask you about some ways to assist women in that. And I appreciate you providing that tip, because it can really be haunting, trying to figure out what to do. And I think that putting the responsibility back on the individual, but doing so in a way that's caring, because we are emotional, but I think that puts them in a position to where they don't feel defensive and feel like you're not being respectful of them as your superior. So definitely can appreciate that. And so with that, do you think that it is wise for women, if we have these morals, whether it's religious morals and values or just different things, how do you maneuver that through the workplace? How do you stand firm in that? And not so much if you're asked to do something that's jeopardizing your job, as what you just mentioned, but what if it's just against what you believe in across the board as far as your morals and values?
Well, I think, first of all, it's very important for us to understand our belief systems and where they come from. And really, why do I believe this? Okay. Why is this important to me? Really get to know who you are as a person. What is it that I want to stand for? Because sometimes our belief systems are not really rooted and grounded in things that are really, truly, at essence, who we are. Okay. This may be just basically being able to look at whether or not this is something that is a belief because someone said that it should be,
or if it's really core value.
Core for you, and then operate in that to say, okay, these are my core beliefs. And I believe in this, and this is how I live my life. And once you develop that sense of purpose and how you live your life, then not allowing anyone to do anything that approach upon those core beliefs.
I love that. I love that. Well, guys, we've come to the point in our show where we talk about our mind, body, and spirit. And tonight we are joined by the awesome Leteshia Brandenburg, LB, who's got a phenomenal guest tonight. LB, let's get into our mind, body, and spirit segment.
Thanks, Nicole. Welcome to this week's Mind, Body, and Spirit segment, where we do our best to highlight different ways for you to incorporate wellness in your everyday lives. It's all about feeding the mind, strengthening the body, and empowering your spirit. Now, if you are just tuning in tonight, you are in for a very, very special treat. We've done everything from showing you how to meditate and showing you how to bounce back into shape. And tonight, we're going to show you how to make those junk foods, a healthy option. No, he's not a magician. He's actually an entrepreneur right here in the food business in Atlanta, Georgia. Let me tell you a little bit about him. He is the founder of Jake's Ice Creams in the Irvin Street Cooking School, where he specializes in that magic trick, turning junk food into healthy options. His motto, superfoods, super easy, super fast. And that's exactly what he's going to show us tonight. Help me welcome to the show, Mr. Chef Jake. Jake, pronounce your last name for me.
Rothschild.
Welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Now, I know later on you have a very special treat for us, but before we get started, I have to be honest. I'm a snacker. I love to snack, and viewers and the audience probably can relate to that. So how did you get into specializing into turning junk food into healthy snacks?
Well, I grew up watching the movie Willy Wonka every chance I got, and I thought that's who I want to be when I grow up. I grew up in a family of lawyers, and I was clear that that's not what I wanted to do with my life. And in order for me to be a successful Willy Wonka, I believe that I probably needed to do it with a new edge, and that edge was actually doing it healthy.
Wow. Now, for those who are not familiar with Willy Wonka, come on, tell us a little bit about who that is and your inspiration.
So Willy Wonka had a chocolate factory in England, and the idea was that he had wonderful people working for him, but at a certain point he could no longer trust them. So he shut down his factory and completely stopped making candy and all kinds of wonderful confections. And then he went on safari, and he found a new crew of people to come work with him called the Oompa Loompas. And he recreated his entire factory so that it was completely self-sufficient, but that it could do things that no one had ever done before, like having a chocolate river and having all kinds of things that would do things that you wouldn't imagine, like having a piece of gum that could turn into a full-course meal. Wow. So that was always very appealing as a kid.
So if you haven't checked out the movie, be sure to do so. You gave a great synopsis of what it's all about. Now, talking about healthy selections, now there's a myth that eating healthy is very expensive. Is that a myth or is that a fact?
It's absolutely a myth. It's knowing what it is that you're using in your foods in order to be healthy. And for example, if we're using olive oil as an example, olive oil is something you should have 2 tablespoons in your diet every day. But if you go to the grocery store and you see how expensive olive oil is, you panic going, I can't afford olive oil. I'm going to stick with Crisco, or I'm going to stick with Wesson oil. Well, if you have a membership, which most people should at this point have in a big box like Sam's or BJ's or Costco, you can buy the olive oil at literally a third of the cost that you would pay for it in the grocery store and have that olive oil available for you to cook with. And that's one of the healthiest things that you can put in your body.
Okay. And actually, I've actually heard a friend that said, you know, what's not expensive is actually going to the hospital and having to pay that medical bill versus being healthy and making better choices. So tell us about your businesses. You have Jake's Ice Creams. Now, you're talking about ice cream and chocolate and all that. Is that healthy?
Ice cream can be, it absolutely can be healthy because it's got all the good things in it. It's a matter of how often you eat it, how much you eat, and what's in the ice cream as to whether or not it's going to be a healthy thing.
Okay. So tell us what's inside of your ice cream that makes yours different from the Haagen-Dazs and the Kroger brand.
It's typically a 5-ingredient thing, so we do have sugar, but it's usually an all-natural sugar. We have hormone-free milk. We have hormone-free cream. And then whatever the ingredients are, which could be pecans, it could be any number of things, peanut butter, whatever the flavors might be. We have a flavor that we're known for called Chocolate Slap Yo Mama. And I would say it's probably Chocolate Slap Yo Mama. You've ever heard the expression, it's so good it make you want to slap your mama and cuss your preacher? Well, that's our best-selling flavor. And that's probably not our healthiest one, but it's the one that sells the best.
At least you're honest, and my mouth is actually watering over here. Now, really quickly, before you actually show us this wonderful demonstration of how we can prepare a healthy meal, you have the Irwin Street Cooking School. Tell us a little bit about your business.
The cooking school at Irwin Street is actually designed for people who are afraid of their kitchen. So we actually make it simple for them and have them understand what each tool is used for and how to make very simple things, how to shop, and how to make things work. We've also opened up something called Dr. Mojo's Juice Clinic, which I wanted to tell you about as well. And that's going to be the balance of what we're talking about tonight regarding eating and drinking healthy.
Wow. So it's not your typical cooking school, but it's for anybody who may have a little fear with getting in there and cooking healthy. Well, actually, Jake is going to show us in just a moment how to prepare this meal, this healthy snack. Nikhol, I'm super excited. I'm going to send it back to you so that we can get ready for our demonstration.
Awesome. I'm super excited, too. It's so good that it makes you want to slap your mama, Dr. Woodley.
I'm ready to have some.
I'm excited about that. And, you know, it's summertime, and no one really wants to get in the kitchen and cook. The kids are home, and you're doing everything under the sun, you know, trying to work and maneuver. So this snack that we're going to get into is supposed to be a quick, healthy snack. And hopefully for those of you out there listening and watching, it will be some great tips that you can implement right away to start your healthy lifestyle. And so are you ready, Dr. Woodley?
I'm ready.
All right. Are we ready, LB?
We're ready.
All right. Let's get ready for our healthy snack tip.
Joining us from the Fearless Kitchen. All right, Jake, tell us what you are going to help us to prepare today.
Well, this is actually more than a snack. It's actually a meal. We're going to work with wild-caught salmon, some fresh kale, a little bit of olive oil, and then we're going to make a little pesto if we have time so that you can actually make a sauce that goes on top of the salmon that will be out of this world. We say wild-caught is the best because it is not there are no fillers, there are no additives, and there are no colors added to the fish. It's actually the healthiest, and it also has the highest in omega-3s.
Wow. Normally, I choose tilapia. Anybody have tilapia? Yes. Tilapia?
And we found out some things about tilapia that you probably would want to steer away from.
I'm scared already. Okay, Jake. Preparation time. How long does it take us to prepare? I guess, what would you call this meal?
Okay, so this would be a superfood meal because everything we're eating is actually extremely good for you. There's no penalties. There's no guilt. And basically what we're going to do is we're going to work on our little burner here, put a little bit of olive oil in the pan right here, just a little bit. And then we're going to take a salmon fillet. And as you can see, it's already been boned. And this is enough to feed 2 people. We're going to put it on here. We're going to go ahead and turn the induction on. Bear with me 1 second, because this. There we go. Now that's going to start cooking, but while we're doing that, we've also got some fresh basil. We have a little farm called Sweet Selma Farms. We grow all the produce that we can on the farm, and so we've grown basil, and we're going to take it off the stem. The stem is actually a little bitter, so we're going to take the leaves, and we're going to put them over in this Cuisinart right over here. If you'll hand me the bowl, we'll just go ahead and do that.
I'm the assistant.
And you can hear that the salmon is already working. We're just going to tear off a little kale, and believe it or not, we're just going to put the kale right on top.
Okay, uncooked kale right on top.
Uncooked kale, so what's going to happen, we're going to turn this down just a little teeny bit.
Okay.
But we're going to put the kale on top. And
Can y'all smell that?
we're going to put the lid on top, and what's going to happen is the steam from the fish is going to actually cook the kale. And the kale, you don't want to overcook. You want to just lightly steam it so that it's actually still a little bit crunchy.
Okay.
And the fish oil is actually going to flavor the kale that way. But we're going to finish this up with just a little bit more basil.
Okay, so right now we're
getting ready to make the pesto that's going to be the sauce that goes over both.
okay. And as far as the cod, how did you place it down? Was it skin down or?
Skin down with the salmon, and so the salmon actually, the skin itself actually works like Teflon so that it actually protects the fish. You can eat the fish skin, but not everybody wants to.
Right.
So we put that down, and it'll come right off because we put a little bit of olive oil first. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a little bit of basil, and we're going to take our friend garlic cloves right here.
My favorite.
What I teach in class in the cooking school is I say, think of somebody that really made you mad today. Take your knife and put it right on top of their head and think evil thoughts, because it's okay, it's just garlic. And you push down, and then you chop that up, and that's going to give you a more pungent, flavorful aroma and taste than you're going to get from a jar of minced garlic and olive oil. Okay, so we're going to put this in the Cuisinart. Actually, we can just put it over with the basil.
Okay.
Now we're going to put the equivalent of a cup of Parmesan cheese. And believe it or not, we're going to put a cup of pecans instead of pine nuts, because pecans are a lot cheaper. And what you're going to want to do when you're using nuts, think in terms of the produce department versus the baking section, because in the produce section, you're actually able to buy the pecans for about 10% of what you pay for it in the baking section. Everything that we're doing here, you can grow the basil in your own garden or in your own window. Parmesan cheese is like $2 for a container. This pesto, when we finish making it, would cost $9 in the grocery store. So if you make it yourself, it lasts for months in the refrigerator, and it's costing pennies. So we're gonna add olive oil to this. We're going to add a cup of olive oil.
Jake is saving us money.
Saving you money everywhere.
Eating healthy and saving
And
money.
eating healthy. Okay.
Eating
So
healthy.
what we're going to do is we're going to put this over into the Cuisinart. Take this lid.
All right, we don't.
It's going to take. This is doing fine. As soon as this turns light pink, it's done. So we're going to pour this in here.
Okay, so how long does this meal take now, Jake? We like
You wanna guess?
quick. Yes.
5 minutes. The whole meal takes 5 minutes.
Wow. So for any busy moms, dads, working.
Now, if you make the pesto in advance, it takes even less time because you can use this pesto over and over again. So we're just adding a little bit more olive oil to make sure that it blends.
That's the 2 teaspoons a day, did you say?
That's the well, it's going to give you a little bit more than that. And that's not a bad thing. So we're going to put this on here, and then we're going to put it on high. If it comes on, we got to make sure it's plugged in. It is? Okay, I may not have this turned on right. Hold on one sec.
Smells delicious. Can you smell that?
It does. That smells great.
Hold on one.
All right. And you actually said that we can store this in the refrigerator for how long? For a month. So easily reusable back on, let's see, what else can we put it on top of? If not fish.
On pesto. The pesto can go in pasta. There we go. We're going to just spin that up. Now, how long do you think this is going to take me to do this?
Okay, so if the whole meal takes about 5, I'm going to give about 30 seconds.
You got that exactly right. The pesto's done. That's it.
I'm ready to
So
taste
we're gonna
that.
take the lid off for a minute.
So depending on how you like your kale, you can keep it in a little longer, the actual consistency of it, the texture. Okay.
Then we're going to take the pesto, and we're just going to take a little bit with your knife and put that over the fish. Wow. And over the kale. Does that smell good?
Makes you want to smack your mama.
That's going to be coming around for a while, isn't it? And that's basically all there is to making a wonderful, healthy, superfood, super easy, super fast meal.
Oh, let's give it up for him. Please give him a hand.
Wow.
That was easy, wasn't it?
That was super easy. He said what? Superfood, super easy,
Superfood, super easy,
super fast. Absolutely. Now,
we should also say super inexpensive.
super inexpensive, showing you how to save all around. Okay, Jake, if we want to actually get more information on your classes, how can we get in contact with you?
You'd go to irwinstreetcooks.com, or you could go to jakesicecream.com, or you could go to doctormojo.com.
And where exactly is that ice cream shop located?
All over at the Irwin Street Market, which is at 660 Irwin Street in the old 4th Ward, right on the Beltline.
All right, can we find Chef Jake on social media?
You certainly can. I'm right there, Jake Rothschild. I'm there, and so is my business partner, Sandy Howdeshell. She's my other partner in crime in making all this wonderful food.
Wonderful.
Awesome.
Well, Nicole, I'm going to go ahead and finish cooking.
Yes, and I can't wait
I'll
to
save
see
a sample
everything
for you later.
plated. Yes, yes.
Thank you so
yes.
much for tuning in to this week's Mind, Body, and Spirit segment. Thank you, Jake.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Lakia and Chef Jake. I am super excited. It is smelling good in here tonight. And so we're going to continue right on along. Tonight, for those of you who may just be tuning in, we are talking about women in business. We are exploring the glass ceiling and talking about myths and misconceptions and dispelling those myths and helping women everywhere live to their highest potential and feeling good about it when it comes to working and earning an income. And we'd love to hear your comments, your questions. So guys, feel free to give us a call here at the studio. We want to hear from you. We bring into the stage now another awesome guest who is coming to you from the city of Atlanta as well. She has spent 23 years in corporate and has also developed a very successful management firm which caters to entertainment artists, athletes, celebrities, and more. She is a pretty amazing woman, I must add, and is very, very well known in the business world. And we are going to talk to her about her 3 core values, which are honesty, loyalty, and reliability when it comes to working. Guys, put your hands together and welcome to the show, Miss Melinda Santiago.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. It's good to be here. I'm excited with the Nicole B. Jackson show.
Yes.
Yeah.
Are you hungry now?
I am. That fish, I was smelling it backstage. I was like, dang, I didn't eat before I got here.
We're going to talk business and we're going to eat. What
Awesome.
show can you get that on, right?
I know, right here, Nicole B. Jackson show.
Definitely, definitely. Well, let's talk a little bit more about your business experience and what you do and how you found your way into the management field.
Actually, I kind of fell into this business, and I want to say more, not fell, but finally recognized that this is what I love to do. In my years in the corporate world of management, I started managing when I was 16 years old in like a 3rd key management role, which taught me the responsibilities as a teenager of opening a store, closing the store, managing inventory, managing employees and personalities. So it taught me early on that just because I treat this individual this way, this individual will want to be treated a different way. So I guess one of the things people have to realize is that saying, treat people like you want to be treated, that's not necessarily true. It's treat people how they want to be treated.
Yes.
And so it taught me early on. So in the years, I just kept getting better and better into the customer service realm, because when you treat people with respect, just a simple hello and a goodbye can change the whole dynamic of a conversation.
And it can change their day.
Absolutely.
It can change their day. So that says a lot about you. For you to say that you started management at 16.
Yes.
Meaning you were managing other people.
Yes.
At 16. So that says a lot about those 3 core values that you operate on.
Yes, the honesty is the given first. You know, anyone who has been in any kind of business, especially the car salesman, you know, the first perception is, you know, but imagine going somewhere that It's just a good feeling. You walk away with a good purchase. You walk away with a good experience. You come back, and then you refer people.
Yes.
So why wouldn't you want to develop and give out those same cores when you have a business, if you know the results already, right? So, I mean, you have to kind of just go with what works.
Yeah, very good point. Very good point. And so in your line of work, is it typical to see women in that position?
I would say 10, 15 years ago, no.
Oh.
No. I think now the industry is growing into, there are more women out there putting an effort and saying, you know, no more waiting around. I'm going to go out there. I'm going to take care of what I need to take care of. I'm going to have a plan B. You know, definitely the same, you know, I want a house, a family, a husband, and kids and all that. But if that doesn't necessarily work out for you, you have to make that plan B. I was married. I'm divorced. So I kind of had to do that separation anxiety plan B thing.
Yes, understandable.
And I think more now women are like, hey, I can do it. I'm no longer needing to sit at home. I'm no longer, you know, needing to take the back seat when I can make ends for myself in a way of life for my kids.
And so that's another one of those myths and misconceptions that we as women sometimes hear and even feel, that we can't have the career that we want. We can't have the family life and all the other things that go along with that. I often say that there's a price, and we're talking, you know, about the cost of freedom, and that's why this show is Women in Business, because we want that career and we should be able to do that. But there are costs that go along with achieving it. And so with you and the work that you do, you work with a lot of male artists and athletes.
Yes.
Do you find that you have to do extra, as Dr. Woodley said earlier, do you have to go above and beyond to prove that you are capable?
It really depends. It depends on how you walk in a room. It depends on how confident you are in your craft. It depends on how secure you are within yourself. I feel if you're not completely 100% confident in what you're doing, you're going to come off a little timid, and people are going to look at that like, oh, I'm going to go in for the kill.
Okay.
But if you walk in and like, I wish you would mentality, you know, like, and it's an honest thing. And it's not being anal, it's not being over, you know, confident. It's walking in an assurity that saying, I know what I'm doing. I've researched it. I've practiced it. I've experienced it. I've failed at it. I've rebounced back from it. So now you can't, it's almost challenging to try to get to me if I already know the A, B, and C's of where you're going.
So basically you go in knowing that you know what you know.
Exactly.
And that it's their, I guess, they get the gift, basically, of
Pretty much.
working with you and joining your team.
Right, and it's only because, again, I failed. It took me to get fired from my corporate job, which I've never been fired before in my entire career. And it takes sometimes, you know, God has to just abruptly stop you. And it's like, oh God, what do I do now?
Yeah.
And then you think about everything you've been through in your life, and it's what it's done. It's, okay, I've met this person, and it's weird, I've met this person, and then you kind of find your niche. And when I started consulting, I was just always helping people out. I was always X and B and A to Z and just putting pieces together without looking for a return.
Yes.
Hey, I know somebody who can help you get let me put you guys together, and walking away. Because that's what I think. You give, and you always get back in an abundance.
Yes.
And you start to implement those things, and people say it's so hard to do, and it's really not. I always say, what's your passion? What would you do as a hobby? Turn your hobby into your job.
And into your profit.
And into your profit.
Yes.
You know, because just because you say abundance, that doesn't necessarily mean financially. Abundance is peace.
Yes.
Like, I live a peaceful life, thank God.
Yes.
And, you know, the celebrities that I manage, I walk in, they trust me because my integrity, my relationships are held high, I'm honest, and I sacrifice. You know, I sacrifice to the point where, sometimes I have to travel. My kids don't get all 100% of me.
Yes.
But then there are times when my clients say, hey, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Stay at home with those kids, have fun. We'll see you because we know you're doing the business.
Exactly. And that comes because they know that you are going to deliver.
Absolutely.
And so that's one of those costs that we talk about, having to, I guess, figure out the balance. I don't think that there's a time where everything is 100% balanced, but we figure out how to make it work. And that looks different for everybody. Like you said, you don't treat people the way that you want to be treated.
Right.
you treat them the way that they want to, and so that they looks different for everybody.
Exactly.
And so we're talking some earlier about the whole moral and value piece, and you
Yes.
have a saying that integrity is everything.
Oh yeah, integrity is everything. And you know, my motto with the business, with the S firm, is, you know, God blesses good business. But integrity,
Oh, I love it. I
and
love
it fits with everything. You know, from material things to relationships. It's just God blesses good things. God blesses good relationships. God blesses good business. So integrity is everything. Because if someone knows that your core is a good person and your character is a good person, and they can honestly trust you with their life, their kids, their money, anything is possible for
Yes.
you.
Yes.
And your integrity is you don't lie. If you don't know, say you don't know. And it's
And
okay.
It's so hard for a lot of us.
It's okay to hey,
Yeah.
I really don't know what I'm doing here, but guess what? I'm going to observe. I'm going to learn from those who do know.
And research.
And then people look at you like, you know what? I appreciate you
Yes.
for not lying to me and doing that. So I mean, it's really simple. It's hard.
Yeah. I've heard that before. It's
so simple. It's hard.
It's so simple.
We were
that it's
talking
hard.
backstage. It's like some people are like, well, how do you do? You just choose. You make a conscious decision. You choose to do it.
Wow. And, you know, I think sometimes we also overthink things.
Yeah, we get in
As-
our way.
Yes.
Our own way.
As we said earlier, we're emotional. And we sometimes make those decisions based off of the thoughts and feelings that we have. And we overthink. And if we can sometimes put some of that to the side and look at the facts and the integrity piece and just do what needs to be done.
Yeah.
I think we could do a lot more, and then that would help dispel some of those myths and misconceptions as well.
Absolutely.
Are there any disadvantages to being a female in business, to being a woman?
Oh, absolutely. In this industry, because it's more male driven, you get with the flirtatious meetings. They want to flirt with you, and heck, if they're cute, you know, you want to flirt back. I'm just being honest, you know, because it is what it is. It's human behavior, but there's a fine line.
Yes.
And if I don't take someone's advances kindly, or if I don't take them easily, then I might jeopardize losing a deal.
Yeah.
So it's a real fine line that I have to walk, and because I'm just a naturally upbeat. I like cracking jokes. I like making people
Sounds like
feel
somebody else I
comfortable.
know sitting on the stage.
You know, and it's what it is, because I said when you're living in a whole different realm, it's
Yes.
everything is just like, hey, it's whatever, let's go. So it's very hard, because sometimes it comes across as, oh, you're a, and you kind of get past that, like, I really am not.
Yes.
I just don't tolerate the,
Yes.
you know, and when it comes to that, once you get past that, it's easy. It's really easy, because now your name gets out there and say, hey, don't try her like that.
Just
But
go
if you
in
want
there
the
and be
good
straight
business done,
business.
if you want a good show, if you want
Yes.
these artists to go out there and perform, and the paperwork is straight, she is peachy, like she is all that. But if you try her the wrong way, and so that I hope that when people spread my name, the relationships that they are putting out there, and the word, the reputation they're putting out there on me is, hey, she gets it done. She's this and she's that, but she gets it done. And
that's the referral that you want.
that's the referral you
That's
want.
the referral that you want, and you want that to be the next referral that you get.
Right.
So it creates that, well, you create the legacy for yourself, but in your business and the work,
Right.
it continues and moves forward. Ladies, we have a caller on the line. Caller, thanks so much for calling in to the Nicole B. Jackson Show. Give us your name and let us know where you're calling from.
Hi, my name is Shanae, and I'm calling from Detroit, Michigan.
Wow.
Hey, Detroit. I was on the east
Welcome.
side, Detroit. Hey.
Welcome, Shanae.
Yay.
What's your question or comment?
I just had a question. Well, I've been watching your show for a while now, and I'm really enjoying it. And I just had a question. I was just wondering, what should come first? Should the right man come first, or the right career?
Ooh, wow. Should the
Hello.
right man come first or the right career? Ooh-wee, that's a good question coming out of Detroit. Ladies?
Well, I
Oh, you got one.
And where you going to pass the mic?
well, one thing that I found is basically loving yourself should come first. Once you love yourself and know who you are as a person, then everything that you want in life will happen for you, whether it's the career, where it's the man, whatever it is that you want. So first you need to determine who you are, what it is that you want, so you're focused on who you are as a person and not who somebody else wants you to be. So I think that's one of the things too, as women, we get caught up in that biological clock ticking and wanting that, basically the dream of having the husband, the family, and things of that nature. And sometimes we kind of get lost in that whole realm, and so or we get so driven in our career that we put family on the back burner. But I think if you know who you are and what you want, then you can have it all.
I love it.
At the same time.
At the same time. Melinda, what are your thoughts?
I agree. If you just take care of you, if you're still trying to figure yourself out, you're not going to keep a man. That's just first and foremost. Or the job. If you're getting with a gentleman who doesn't have his stuff together, and it's going to be equally as hard. So if you're walking that fine line and you're out there just doing you and happy and creating things, it can come either way. But when it comes, you'll know when it's right, because you're right and you've loved yourself enough to say, this is what I'm not going to have, this is what I want, and then take away the wants because this is what I need.
Yes.
So
LB has this saying, well, it's probably not just her saying, but it's something that she says all the time, and it's ask, believe, receive. And so we ask and say we want all these different things, and we work and we push and we believe that it's going to happen, but sometimes we're not in a position where we're open to receive it, so we don't even recognize when it comes. And you said when you work on yourself and everything's in alignment, you'll be able to know that this is for me, this is my time to walk into this, and I receive it.
Key word, alignment.
So thank you so much for that call, caller from Detroit. We appreciate you there. Ladies, give us some more information about where our viewers can find out more about you and all of the other awesome things that you've got going on.
Okay. Well, of course, I can be reached at 404-399-6161, which is my phone number, my email address, and my social media, LeteshiaWoodley.com. You can actually look up my website. I'm very excited, like I said, to be able to make a difference in the lives of people. My mission is to ignite, motivate, and encourage individuals to reach their full potential. So any way that I can assist, I'll be more than happy to do so. I specialize in doing wellness retreats. So I have a concierge practice, and I believe in practicing counseling wherever, and in whatever
Meaning
space,
that she'll come to you.
I will come to you. We can set up different type of experiences for your counseling, because I found that sometimes people find it intimidating coming into a office and laying on the couch. So I try to make counseling experiences to be more open and more friendly to other people's perception of working through their issues.
Great. And Melinda, quickly, where can we find you?
The Santiago Firm at gmail.com, or you can go to my website, santiagofirm.com. And then every social media outlet, including the new Periscope. If you guys aren't on Periscope, it's a live stream.
I've got to get on Periscope.
It's at Melinda Santiago. M Squad Show with Michael Keith of 112 and myself. Anything on Bobby V's page, Jay Holliday's page, 112, any of the clients' page, you can always find me. If you hashtag SFirm, you can find me.
Awesome.
You can start from there.
Start from there. Thank you, ladies, so very much. I appreciate you. Guys, we've come to the portion of our show where it's time for our artist showcase, and we're going back to LB.
Thank you so much, Nikhol. Ladies, you are so awesome. Women empowering women in business, and we have women empowering children in dance. I want you to meet my special guest, Andrea Price. She is the founder of, what's your business?
Price Performing Arts Center.
And what exactly is the Price Performing Arts Center? Because if you didn't check the beginning of the show, we actually had a beautiful performance by one of your wonderful dancers. Tell us a little bit about your business.
Our business offers classes in ballet, tap, jazz, modern, lyrical, point, hip hop, contemporary, musical theater, a whole gamut of classes for ages 3 through adult. We've been in business for 21 years, and we've expanded to 2 locations, one in College Park and one in Decatur. We also have students that also perform locally and regionally for charitable organizations and special events and dance competitions. And we recently returned from Panama City Beach, where the students did very, very well.
What was happening in Panama City Beach?
They performed for the Platinum National Dance Competition, and we'll see some of the performers here today. We saw a performance from Jewel Morris earlier for her tap solo, but we'll see a trio called Electricity, which will be presented by Kyla, Alyssa, and Camille. And so that'll be a jazz routine. But we took 45 routines, and they placed in the top ranking.
Congratulations to you and the wonderful young ladies. Congratulations. Now, was dance always something you wanted to do? Was that your dream as a little girl? You wanted to be a dancer?
Well, I started dancing at the age of 5. And as I grew up in dance, I started teaching my first tap class at 14. And so that's when I decided I wanted to pursue, my own business in dance. Originally, when I was younger, I wanted to be a doctor, but I was most passionate about the arts. And so I went ahead and pursued that, and I've owned my business for 21 years. God has blessed me to do that. So, and it's my pride and joy to be able to see my students excel and conquer their dreams.
Absolutely. Congratulations again. Give her a round of applause for that. Now, the young lady who was tapping her little heart out at the beginning of the show, how long has she been with the company? Because she is phenomenal.
She's been with the studio, I would say, about 5 or 6 years, yes. Mm-hmm.
So is your company sort of like Dance Moms? Have you ever seen that show?
I think we are a little better than Dance Moms because we have a nurturing environment for our kids, and we want to see all of our students excel. So, but yes, we do push them very hard, but in a positive way. Okay, yes.
Okay. And what are some things that if I wanted to enroll my daughter, is it only for girls? Is it only for boys? Anybody's welcome?
Oh, anyone's welcome. We take boys and girls from ages 3 through adult. Okay. We do have something for the adults as well. And this past year we started a Zumba crave. So the Zumba class was a big hit. But yes, we have classes for all ages.
Okay. So if I'm enrolling, what exactly am I going to expect from my child, I guess, within a year? What am I going to see her doing? Is she going to be tap dancing like that baby?
Well, no, it probably take longer than a year to tap dance like that, but you will see growth. Okay. We do have open house activities throughout the year where you get to see how your child is developing in the class. And this year we'll have registration beginning August 10th, and our first class will be September 1st.
All right. What about the arts in school? Have you noticed that some of the performing arts are being taken out of school? Do you feel like you supplement that?
Yes, I do. And I think arts is very important. You'll find that the student that's involved in the arts, they do much better in school. Yes. Mm-hmm.
So how can we get in contact with you, find you on social media? We sign up for your next course. Nikhol, you and I are going dancing at the studio.
Yes, ppacdance.com, and we can also locate us on Instagram at PPAC Dance, and also on Facebook.
Okay. We have one more performance, as you said, from the trio. What exactly are they going to be performing for us?
They're going to be performing a jazz routine.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Thank you so much, so much. Are you ready?
All right.
Let's give it up.
Let's hear it and hear it and see it from the lovely ladies of Price Performing Arts Center, Electricity.
Let's just dance, baby. I just wanna dance, 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 dance. Can you feel it? Can you take it? Can you come and embrace it? All of this electricity. Do it right now, right now. Turn the volume up loud. Give me your electricity. I don't really care. Take me there. Can you feel it? Can you take it? Baby, it's so electric. So come and play with me. just dance, baby. I just wanna dance, 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 dance. Can you feel it? Can you take it? Can you come and brace it? All this electricity, do it right now, right now. Turn the volume up loud, give me your electricity. I don't really care. Take me there. Can you feel it? Can you take it? Baby, it's so electric. So come and play with me. Can you feel it? Can you take it? Can you come and brace it? All this electricity, do it right now, right now. Turn the volume up loud, give me your electricity. I don't really care. Take me there. Can you feel it? Can you take it? Baby, it's so electric. So come and play with me.
All right. All I want to know is if I take classes at Price Performing Arts, am I going to be able to move like that?
Can I do the splits again sometime in life?
Great job, ladies. Great job. And now we want to go back over to Chef Jake because he prepared this awesome, healthy dish, and we want to see the finishing touches. And so we're going to go over to LB. LB, can we see this awesome salmon dish, please?
Wow, if you are just tuning in, I don't know, that performance was electrifying. I'm expecting to get some energy from this. So tell us, what is this final product? Look at this. Does it look good?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's homemade pesto and a steamed salmon that was made from a wild salmon.
So what's the difference between wild raised and farm raised? Because I was under the assumption that farm raised was probably the best.
It's actually not the better.
Wow.
It's only better than the additives in food. And it's the wild salmon with higher omega-3 fatty acids and also iron.
All right, if you don't mind, Chef Jake, I want to go take a sample. Looks delicious.
Make sure you get some pesto in there.
Get some pesto and a little piece of kale. Here, hold this mic for me. Let me get into it. I want to get into it.
You hold the mic.
This is really good.
Thank you.
This is really
Wow.
good. Nicole, I'll save you a piece.
Yes, I was getting ready to say you're getting too into that, LB.
Actually, this is really, really good. Now, Chef Jake, for us who I told you I'm a snacker.
Yes.
So give me some healthy alternatives to just getting a bag of chips that's 2 for $6 at Kroger.
So make your own hummus. Get a couple
Wow.
of cans of black-eyed peas or field peas or chickpeas. Put them in your Cuisinart and blend them up with a little bit of olive oil, a little bit of garlic, a little lemon juice, and then get healthy crackers. And that's a great snack. Fresh fruit is a great snack. Fish is a great snack. If you like fish and you like to snack on it with a little bit of light cream cheese and a little bit of that, it would be amazing.
Is there any salt in this at
No
all?
salt at all. There's no salt.
It's absolutely amazing. Again, thank you so much, Chef Jake. Be sure again to tell them where to find you if we want to get some cooking classes, just in case you missed it. Cooking classes on social media.
Right, the cooking school at Irwin Street.
You go ahead and tell them. I'm going to
Okay. So it's the cooking school at Irwin Street at the Irwin Street Market, and you can find all kinds of wonderful food at Jake's and also fantastic juices at Dr. Mojo's.
Awesome. Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you again so much. Chef Jake and Leteshia, LB, thank you so much. And we want to thank Price Performing Arts, Miss Andrea Price, and those awesome dancers, our talented tapper, and our jazzy jazzers. Thank you, ladies, so much for being our guests tonight. And I also want to thank the very special ladies joining me here on the stage tonight as we work to talk about women and business, the cost of freedom, and breaking the glass ceiling. If you missed any of tonight's show, basically what we want you all to take away is that the ceiling really only is what you make it. These awesome ladies tonight have talked to us about working through discrimination, keeping your morals and your integrity intact to do the best job that you can do. At the end of the day, it's up to you to show up and show out and to excel in your career in business, in personal life, and whatever it is that you choose to do. So special thank you again to Dr. Leteshia Woodley of Dynamic Achievement Solutions, Melinda Santiago of the S Firm. Guys, in closing, always remember that it doesn't matter what you've been through. It doesn't matter what you're going through. It doesn't matter what you'll go through in the future. Trust, know, and believe that your healing is just a journey away. Join us here next week, same time, same place, as we continue our discussion on the cost of freedom. And we're going to talk about walking in your truth, your true, authentic self. Be blessed, guys. Have a great night.
Bring the beat in.
All right.